Hey guys, welcome all for modern mobile penetration testing course. So this is not a course, actually is a series which I will be showing everything from the scratch, like from making you to understand what is the Android architecture to setting up a environment in a sense lab setup for pen testing to whole how to exploit and find the vulnerabilities, even static analysis, dynamic analysis. We'll talk every topic in each series. So basically, before we start the giving my introduction, I'm an infosec guy. I'm into security. Experience. I mean, like domain from past 4 years from my engineering. I'm into this, web security, Android security, and network security. So it's been a great journey for 5 years. Now I'm purely into Android security and into malware analysis. So the only reason of this course to educate all the infosec newbies into Android thing, because nowadays the Android development has increased rapidly. As the infosec guys, it's our duty to keep the mobile environments and mobile applications secured, so that it will be helpful for all the human people around from the bad vectors of human beings, right? So before beginning that, so let us know what is actual penetration testing, which will be done by common infosec guys or security guys, and what is the mobile, how it differs from the mobile environment things, right? So in a normal penetration process, we'll be having 6 steps. Like there will be 7 steps. So in my information gathering, there are several clusters. So I included both in a single thing. It is almost in the both steps they'll be doing the same thing. Right, the first one is the information gathering and recon. Suppose you got on a target, right? We can't directly jump into analyzing the target. We should know what the target does, like how it works, functionality, or who is the creator, or what platform it is created. All those basic informations might be who is data, or else getting the social information of, suppose if you got on one IP of any company, gathering so many details about that particular IP, from who is data, and if at all if that IP is redirecting to some website, getting more data about the website, and doing such a recon things, gathering more and more information will be our initial step. Scanning, suppose you got some hosts, right? The second step we jump into is scanning the network or scanning the website or whatever, depends upon our host or the website or network, whatever we get, right? In that we use several tools like Adb.APktool, and there are depends varies from other people. There are other good tools like Scan, and people use Nessels also. There are some good automation tools like Accounts, which gives us everything for a web-based OS things. So after scanning the other thing, because when we scan one network or a host, we'll get to know what are the ports and what service is running on what port, and what is the version. If you use the Nmap kind of good scanners, it gives sometimes the versions of the service or tools which is running on a particular port, which might be vulnerable or which might not be vulnerable. Again, based on that information, you have to recon again on that port or a service or a version which is using. And if you find some any vulnerability, you can directly put it into exploitation. Or if you try, if you feel okay, this endpoint or this service which is running on so and so port might be vulnerable. So you will you get into such a assumption, or you get that idea as a security guy. Right. So the next process after that you gonna do is exploitation. So exploitation is breaking into into that network, exploiting with the use of that vulnerability code or vulnerability behind endpoint which we got, exploiting just misuse. It's not a kind of misusing, breaking into it and getting into getting the access into it. in not a right way. Like that's what thing is like. That's all. Like that's where we exploit it. So see, I'm not going to explain everything in a deep. Like I'm just giving you in a brief idea how it is in a general way. Right. So when we exploit it, like we'll be not having like all privilege. Suppose there is one CRM tool, Hazim. Okay, I tried to get into it. I found some vulnerable endpoint. Okay, so when I exploiting, I got access to store manager. Store manager, like suppose like CRM of some mini business. Okay, I got like access of store manager. Now I want to become higher manager or admin authority or store admin, some kind of thing. So that's where the escalation things comes. Like you're gonna do more and more deep analysis. You try to get a root access or admin access or higher level. In escalation there are like vertical level access or horizontal level access. Like most of the people will go for vertical level access to get higher levels, because higher levels will having a more privileges to exploit it or to see more into the system, right? So that's how the escalation works. And clearing the tracks, obviously when you all doing all these things, a good network will keep a track of logs or track of things what you have been done. So a good security analyst or a penetration like exploiter always clears the tracks after he finds some information, and whatever the information you find during your process, you have to make a good note of it, so that you can report it to the like respective owner or a client which you got this like job done for, right? So this is a simple penetration process happens in a real world. But when it comes to a mobile environment, we don't do this way exactly. We're gonna skip so many parts here. We have like just simple four steps what we're gonna follow. So let us see. Yeah, information gathering and recon is very important in whatever the you go. Like even if you be a cloud or like cloud security guy or a mobile security, Android, iOS, web, or wherever you go, the information gathering and recon will be your first thing. So coming to mobile penetration testing, what means information gathering, what information you can gather. Like simple, like suppose you got one app to analyze, right? Go and check for whether the app is in a Play Store. Play Store. Let me take one example directly. Let me come out of this. Yeah. I have came out of this. Let me minimize this. Sorry. Yeah. So let me open Google Chrome. So let us take one app. Let us take what YouTube. YouTube Play Store. Yeah, not YouTube. Let us take a Ola only, because YouTube belongs to Google only. There's no point of searching about that. Okay. Okay. Suppose like you're working on this particular app. Go to the Play Store, see what is the version of it, see the user comments, what all the user said. Might be like so there will be some very good users like who will put the app is getting crash at this endpoint when I'm trying to log in, when I'm trying to book. Those are like caching endpoints are very good for Android security researchers mainly. So what you can gather like in terms of app, in the sense you can keep a track of developer who has developed it, and similar apps developed by the developer. There will be a section here, yeah, more by Hola. Like there's another app by like the Hola called Hola Money, and there will be a section called recent versions, if I'm not wrong. There will be. There will be in earlier versions I have seen actually they will be like this is about, yeah, you can look into what all the permissions, because permissions are everything in Android security. Like Android security, where you gonna work on it, will go on those further videos. There will be like, new, okay, I think new, not new releases, that's for there will be, there was might be they have removed it, I guess, not sure. There will be like, there was some tab called in versions, like what all the patches or upgrades they have made like in a recent version. Yeah, it's not there. These plans, you can see like, whether they have like which website, you can take this endpoint also to check, like these all are the recons you can like, get from the app name. You can check it, like you can also check it whether this app is using other stores like in App Store or Galaxy Store, like that, right? Yeah, and you can also check like required Android 5 hub. So you can check in the lower environments, because lower environments are very vulnerable than higher environments, because see, like in higher environments like Android 11, 12, they have very good sandbox securities, right? Islamic security. So when you come to 6, 7, they are not so well designed architecture. They are good, but they are not so well designed. So you can try to run the apps on such a like emulator. Second, you can try to find out some endpoints. So that is the first phase of recon in Android security. Second comes the static analysis. In a static analysis in a mobile, you can find some secret keys. I have a mind map. Let me show you. So these are checklist for Android application. So in like let me make it big. Yeah, in a static analysis, what all you can gather information is, you can find you can find the obfuscation, like what code, like whether the code is very well obfuscated, like when you decompile or when you unpack the code, like unpack the code, you will get like all the code, like when you load a code into JADAX, like we show you how to use a JADAX, and also when you do it, you will see code, whether the code is highly obfuscated or whether it is like normal like Java readable code. So you can check that, and you can check for sensitive information which are hard coded, like keys, API keys, AWS keys, Gmaps keys, and some they will be using some third-party tools for authentication. They might hard code the key, like ID and password in somewhere in Java, like in Android code. You can check for such codes, or else they might put some IPs, some internal IPs to communicate with the app, like or for developer backdoor activity they might put. So you can find such a sensitive information, and you can also check for like insecure coding practices like JavaScript enabled, and yeah, random number generator and insecure functions using a weak cryptography. You can check for such a things in a static analysis. Like we'll show when we are analyzing some app, we'll show like how we can like search. There are amazing tools like MobSF which automates your work. Also, like it is better to do it manually than relying on some tools, right? You can also check for integrities and permission, whether like debug mode is on, backup is enabled, all those steps. And most important thing is Firebase, because Firebase is the everything like for Android devices. Like that's where the data is, like data will be stored, right? So you can check for Firebase, and you can check for like whether the Firebase like whatever they are using is vulnerable, or is it like it is secure. All right, so you can find so like such things when you are doing static analysis on a Android application. And coming to next is your dynamic analysis. So dynamic analysis, to perform a dynamic analysis, you need to set up a proxy listener. There are a lot of like proxy listeners but I prefer the BobSuit. BobSuit is a very good framework. When coming to dynamic analysis, you will be having a lot of things to do, beginning from SSL pinning, because when you set up a mobile environment, if you want to listen a proxy request and response of the Android, you should the mobile environment is not like a website environment. If you just set up a proxy, you can't listen the request and response of Android environment. You have to bypass the network library of the Android. Then only you can see the request and response of that mobile network, right? So starting from there, you can see all the endpoints, all the API calls, API methods, all those things. Via Bob. So the most important thing in a dynamic analysis is sense exploiting or finding the vulnerable endpoints according to a WASP. Suppose it might be a broken authentication or broken authorization. Broken authentication is just checking suppose user 1 is logged in and user 2 is also logged in, they will be having some session IDs and cookies and tokens, right? Modifying just tokens in a URL, sometimes it will get authenticated. So those are come under broken authentication, and also logging, insecure logging things, some Android, nowadays Android apps using OTP, login with OTP. Some apps will be not having a limit, they will be having a 4-digit OTP which will be sent to the mobile, but they will be not having a limit, after 3 wrong passwords you have to revoke the OTP, right? In such cases, the attacker can brute force the OTP, and they can easily guess the if there is no limit of our OTP checking, they can easily brute force and they can log into any account, right? So those things you can check. You can check for data sensitive, any data sensitive sensitive information is passed through APIs. You can check in a request and response, and you can also check for broken authorization and broken access control. Suppose, as I said, store manager will be not having access of admin, so you can just modify the ID, user ID, or there might be some specific ID to identify is a store manager or is admin. So that you can you can see you can just modify them, and you can check whether it is vulnerable or not. You can type for SSRF and server side injection. The more important thing is SQL injections. You can check for SQL injections also, and you can check for XSS also. XSS in mobile applications is very rare. It's not it's not possible. It is very rare. So that's what dynamic analysis is when we're doing the apps, we gonna tell more and more. These are small thing, and once you do all the process, static and dynamic, whatever the information you gather, you're gonna make one beautiful report, and you have to explain them how it is vulnerable and why it is vulnerable, and you have to explain a business impact without suppose if there is one endpoint which is vulnerable and the company doesn't has any business impact, they're not going to give you any bounty, or they're not going to give you any certificate or what. They just said thank you for your report. That's what you should be well familiar in making them understand what is the business impact of this vulnerability. So that is how you have to be good in report writing. So this is what, guys, small intro on difference between the normal scenario of penetration and mobile environment analysis, right? So I hope you liked it. If you have any doubts, please feel free to drop in your comments, and don't forget to like, follow and subscribe us, and you can share it so that your fellow buddies will get educated, right? Thank you all. See you again in the next topic. Bye bye.